So tell us about the Nerd Circus.
So going back to all the stuff that I was talking about earlier, which was where D&D and my nerddom lives firmly in the late 70s, early 80s, right?
Right.
And so I wanted to create a site that celebrated the vibe of my nerddom. Like, what is my Nerd Circus when you walk around the nerd lair? And so it's that orange carpet, wood paneled thing, and I wanted to, inspired by what Joe Manganiello did with Death Saves and with Beetle and Grimm, obviously at a smaller scale for me, but I wanted to do something where I sold dice, and I sold dice towers, and I sold Mai Tai glasses, and the book that I created, the with Brendan Cleeley, the Mystic Libations book.
Oh, we want to talk about that.
Yes, we do.
and so I wanted to make a site that celebrated my kind of groovy late 70s version of trippy prog rock version of where my nerddom lives. And so I wanted the logo to kind of look like a rock band poster from the era, which is just me with a hat on and glasses. But even the logo, the font is very groovy.
You mean that one?
Talon and Claw. There it is. Yeah, Talon and Claw made me this.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah.
But I'm friends with Diva Zappa, and she's like, "Your logo looks familiar." And so
a little bit,
a little bit. And so the Nerd Circus was designed to give me a platform to create merchandise that I would want to own, and that celebrates that vibe. Like the dice that I was selling were lava lamp dice, so they had this kind of orange swirly look to them in a purple velvet bag, which is like the Crown Royal bag that we all keep our dice in. I created a dice box. Let me show you. This is my pride and joy. There's an artist by the name of Charles Thurston, and he designed a dice box that celebrated the vibe, and I call it my 70s Rec Room dice box. So it's like wood paneling.
Oh, wow.
It's shaped like a cigar box, which is what we kept all our minis and pencils and dice in. And then it literally has miniature orange shag carpet in it.
Oh my God, that is beautiful.
Todd, that's
and then I realized that D&D didn't really have a "May the Force be with you," and so I created it to say, "May you always roll with advantage."
Oh, nice.
So that's kind of the "May the Force be with you" for me of D&D. We have gardeners.
Yeah,
that's there.
Okay. That's okay.
Mowing and blowing. I hope it's not too loud.
No, it's okay.
Okay. It's really loud here.
Yeah.
So,
they're doing a good job.
Yeah. Earning their money. And then I created, I wanted to create a dice box that, hang on just a second.
Oh, we ran out of gas.
There we go. So then there's another dice box, which is inspired by some classic D&D vibe. I call it the demon dice box because.
Oh, nice! Look at that.
That's great.
Oh my God!
And so not straight. Oh no, it goes this way. That's why. Wow,
nice.
Is that loud? That's so loud.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
I love it.
So again, it always circles back to 1979, right? For me.
Yeah.
It circles back to that era of gaming and that era of nerding. It's like we lived in such a, like, the Spielberg and Lucas of it all and the Excalibur of it all. We lived in those really amazing, fruitful golden era of times, and so, I don't care if I'm stuck in the past. It feels good to try and share that with the next generation, and I'm passing that on to my daughter. And my daughter is very firmly rooted in current Forgotten Realms. Like, she creates Triton characters,
right?
And like they're all purple with blue hair, and she'll spend hours crafting characters in all of the books, like, because then there's Tasha's, and then there's this book, and then there's this book, and then there's this book,
right?
And so she loves poring over all of them and subclassing and subclassing and subclassing and subclassing, and this is her jam. So she's getting a best of the both worlds. Like, she's going down her path of what D&D means to her, and I share with her what it means to me. And so she'll wear a classic D&D t-shirt and then run her games where they created a centaur, but instead of half horse, it's half centipede. So it's like a centaur.
Nice. No, that's great.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I just got these. These haven't gone up yet. This is from Super 7, a company called Super 7. Oh, so good.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. With the little
Yankee and
then the Afriti.
And the Afriti. Oh my God,
that's great.
Yeah, they're done like the classic Kenner action figures. Even their logo looks like like it says Kenner.
Correct. The old style
and the Kenner font. Yeah. And the backs are great.
Are those going to be on your website?
I don't sell these.
Oh, you don't? Oh.
I bought these. I don't sell these. No, that's way beyond my level of someday, but that's also a licensing thing. I don't have anything licensed. So like even Mystic Libations is agnostic of a specific RPG system.
Sure.
I mean, it winks and it uses the OGL, but it's nothing like, it never says Beholder.
Yeah, but you're right though. That's I was thinking, when you were telling us about Captain Shaw's speech, and I was thinking to my father's generation, Star Trek, and they were of course too old to be gosh wow with it. They were all and he was in, missile defense and physicists and radar and stuff. He said, "No, son, you don't realize. I mean, we grew up watching Bill Shatner on the boards at Stratford Shakespeare Festival, playing spear carriers. He was a nobody. But he said, you don't realize how important Star Trek is, not for, the final frontier and all that, but in the middle of the Cold War, it told all the Americans and all the Canadians too, we make it. We don't blow up the planet. We make it to the stars and we work together. Look at that crew. There's a Russian. There's we work together. It's all going to be okay."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And of course, we know that intellectually, but it doesn't have the impact
of saying that we get there. We get there, and we exceed it. We actually go out into space together. Speaking of, my neighbor is Chekhov. Walter's
yes.
Koenig, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's great. And so if you actually hear him in the final episode of Picard, he plays his son.
Yeah.
He plays Chekhov's son.
You hear the voice.
He's the president of the Federation of Planets.
Right.
And so he and he's my neighbor. I see him all the time, and he came over to watch the finale at my house with Terry Metalis. And then he and I are going to do a signing together. I'm actually going to drive him. So
nice.
Those are the moments in my life I go, no one had that on your bingo card.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
You're like, I knew I was going to make it, but I didn't know I was going to make it this big.
Or this specifically.
This way,
specifically, yeah.
Like miles to go before I sleep. I'm like I don't consider myself famous. I consider myself known in certain circles, but I have miles to go before I've conquered this town.
But you are forever in Star Trek now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're lifers. We're lifers. Yeah. And who knows where it goes? But for now, I have a convention this weekend in Washington State. It's going to be the summer of conventions.
All right.
Oh yes.
While the writers are on strike and whatnot.
Oh,
Tell us about that. Tell us about all that's next for you, Todd.
Well, currently I am co-writing on a Captain America Black Panther video game for Skydance New Media and Marvel. I'm a narrative consultant and a contractor for that. I've pitched some comic books recently. Acting wise, there's nothing going on because it's
no writers.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a strike. I'm doing a bunch of different little NPCs and things for other people's Kickstarters. Luke Gygax being one of them. I'm doing an NPC for him. So yeah, that's what it is, and spending time with my family before I disappear for every weekend of the summer.
Yeah.
The good people of Star Trek.
You wanted to talk about the book, the Mystic Libations, Ed.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah. What would you like to know, Ed?
Where can I catch you to buy this book this summer?
Well, this summer I will not actually be carrying it around with me because that's a heavy lot to carry.
Yeah. Okay.
You can order them currently at traderbrandon.com, which is where the guy I collaborated with, that's where he sells his nerdy merch.
Okay.
His is very tiki driven, kind of that Raiders of the Lost Ark culture.
Right.
That's his jam. He's a former Imagineer and he's deep in tiki culture. And so he has the book for sale on his site. I have sold out of my copies currently. So I if you have a copy and want me to sign it, you can bring it to one of the conventions that I'm at. And I'm happy to do so.
Excellent. And will there be copies
yeah.
Game Hole Con?
I'm not going to Game Hole.
Oh no. Okay.
I will be at another convention. I really only will probably make it to GaryCon next year.
GaryCon next year. All right.
Yeah, and maybe I will hopefully have some copies to sell there. But game cons are hard to justify to my wife when I'm leaving every weekend to go do Star Trek stuff.
Yeah.
I'm also going to leave this weekend to just go play games. Bye.
What?
Bring her
That
with
doesn't
you.
work with her? Yeah, bring her with you.
I got her there, right there. I got her to do and she's in one of my ongoings as a player, but that's just because she likes sitting with the people. She's a writer herself, but she's not drawn to D&D, but she enjoys it and she plays it with friends. But she doesn't like seek out more than one game a month.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, give me all the games. But yeah.
My wife totally supports everything that I do in D&D since I met her, but since I started going to conventions in '99 and first met Ed, and I was a playtester for 3.5. Curry and I both were, and she played one session her entire life, and this girl is unbeatable. Have you played Lords of Waterdeep? You got to play Lords of Water. You have it online, but she's unbeatable. She can't. She beat all the. I mean, Jeff Grubb, Stephen Shin, all these people who are TSR developers and game masters and game designers and book writers. And she sat there and she kicked their ass in a game at Game Hole Con to the point where Stephen Shin was like, Sharon, do you feel a need to beat us all by more than 30 points? And she's like, I can't stop. But no, she loves seeing she's met Ed and stuff. But next year we're gonna a bunch of those people I was talking about developers and writers, and George. I don't know if you know George Krashos. You've met Eric Boyd before. I think you played the game with Eric Boyd. And he was a writer for Wizards and and TSR and stuff like that. And we're actually getting a house, getting a B&B in downtown Indianapolis next year, so we can all go together. So we're just going to basically.
Yeah, I've been to Gen Con once, and I've been to Gary Con twice, and that's it for game cons for me.
Really?
And I was lucky enough to get to see Ed last time.
Yeah. Yes.
I want to play more games with him.
Okay,
I need to roll some dice.
Well, to that point, I was going to bring this up at some point. We have a game that our listeners that participated in a contest for. We selected some winners, and we're still working on ironing out the schedule for it. We can absolutely edit this part out.
By the way, you're going to have to edit this out because you just said it would be a surprise.
Yes, we're going to edit it out. We're going to edit it out. Don't worry. Absolutely.
Yeah, well,
I've been a fan of fun for years.
Excellent. Yeah.
Well, I'll send Megan the information.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah. And what I'd like to do...
what holy grails are you guys? You talked about my holy grails of collecting. What do you have? What do you want? What is out there?
Oh my God, mine would be the white box set it's unopened. That would be true. I have the short time printing of the original deities and demigods. It has the Minobian and
with the Cthulhu.
Yeah, I have that.
I got it. I got that, Jeff.
Yep.
I bought that at Gen Con by running with everybody else down to the cloakroom to buy it.
Oh my God, there it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
So this is a third printing, I think, because it says original collector's edition, and I think the first printings don't have that on there.
That's right.
But I've also filled this with other books that I've acquired along the way, just to keep in there.
Right. Oh my
Nice.
God. Oh, there it is. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
There it is.
And I picked up a copy of Blackmore.
Yeah. I love the picture of the beholder on that book. It's so bad.
So good. None of that. So I keep all these books, and then in the this is a rare thing. Let me see if I can grab it because your viewers will love this.
We are like kids in candy store.
We are. Yeah. That's what I have. Yes.
But here's where it gets.
Yes. Yeah. With the crayon. Yeah.
I have the crayons.
Sealed bag.
I still have the crayons. Oh, it's sealed. You never opened. Holy crap!
I never opened mine either.
This is So this is the edition I started with, but I didn't own it. And then I think the first one I owned was the
red box.
Pink box. Oh. No. I was done playing by the red box.
Oh, you were. That's right.
Because the red box was 82, I think.
80, yeah.
83?
Yeah.
83, I think it was.
I was done playing. No, my edition was the pink box.
Oh, that one. Yes.
With the Aerolotus cover.
Right.
Yeah, and then there was the AD&D or the expert set that was this with a vision. I have that over there.
Right.
Yeah, so I never played the red box, and I think so. I didn't come to Forgotten Realms until I was a grown up.
Well, I didn't either. I didn't neither. Curry, actually, I was Greyhawk.
It was all Greyhawk for me.
I was Greyhawk until about 1990 when Curry introduced me to the Forgotten Realms. And then I went crazy.
You're like, I'm gone.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
No, I love the world of the Forgotten Realms. Like I said, I spent a lot of time on the Tuthir Peninsula, on Iraq Desert, obviously up in the northern the Icewind Dale. Like I love it. What'd you guys think of the film?
Loved it.
Oh, I
Loved
loved
it.
absolutely loved the film.
And I
It
thought
really, the spirit was wonderful.
yeah,
We thought they did
and
a
I
great job.
and I thought they chose the right tone.
Yes, they did.
You know,
Yeah.
Not being too self-important or serious, and captured.
Well, it
what
hit all the quadrants, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in my brain, like I said, when I'm playing, it's Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Like that's what it feels like to me. But I can see why making a movie based on a popular game to appeal to a wide audience.
Yep.
The vibe is what they went with, and it made sense, and it worked.
Yeah.
Have you seen Northman?
I've seen parts of it. Yes, I have actually. Yeah.
And then Green. So if you take Northman and Green Knight and Lord of the Rings, those are the vibes of what D&D is like in me.
Right.
Okay.
But watching the D&D movie, I'm like, this is fun. This is a lot of fun.
I laughed. It was fun. I really enjoyed what a lot of people didn't enjoy though, but I enjoyed. I think here's what I liked most is the fact, and people that were complaining about it really kind of irritated me. I didn't listen to them, but it's the fact that it was in the Forgotten Realms. It wasn't the first and second D and third movies that were made up to satisfy the owner. It was
they referenced the places. Yeah, it was great.
Waterdeep, what else? The North. They talked about Icewind Dale. They talked.
Well, they were in Icewind Dale.
That's what I mean. They talked about it. They talked about the Sword Coast, and it's stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, yeah, I know it. Yeah, I've been there. I know it. It's okay.
Yeah,
so good.
It's like
And I took my library ladies, my coworkers from the public library. None of them are D&D people, and I took them. They said, "Oh, let's go see your movie, Ed." And I took them, and they all loved it, just as a romp. And one of the ladies pointed out, this is the most visually beautiful movie I've seen in a long time. And she watches lots of movies, but it's the lighting, the stained glass, the interiors, the costumes. Every time you turn around, it's like
so beautiful. It's distinct from Tolkien. It's its own vibe, which is what I enjoyed.
And the practical effects they use were wonderful. Like I didn't
that's my daughter's jam. She loves practical effects.
Like when they got caught in that sand trap, that was actually a practical effect. That wasn't CGI. It's they blew air up through it. It made them sink. It was incredible. And
so good.
I enjoyed. Now I wanted to ask it because I think you would have been great in that movie. Really, no.
That's
seriously,
not a question. That's a statement. But
that's awesome. A statement. No, yes. I think you would have been great in that movie. Not would have been great. I think you would have been great. I know you would have been great, and I can see you playing either the wizard or even the bard in that. If you had a choice, what would you play in the movie?
I would be look. It would be a character that's not in the movie. I would play. I would play like some old rogue. I would play some. I mean, not that. That's what I guess. That's what he was. That's what Hugh Grant was an old rogue. But I'd play. I mean, look. I'm a Han Solo guy, so I would find a way to create a character that's like that.
A scoundrel.
Yeah, a scoundrel.
Or maybe I'll be in the sequel. I'll be a scoundrel in the sequel.
There we go.
Yeah, you'll skullduggery. We'll keep it in there, right?
Yeah, that's my jam. I love those kinds of characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's incredible.
Yeah, thanks.
Nice.
You got anything else?
All right,
guys?
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Anything else? That's like I said. That's what I got going on. I'm about to leaving town a lot.
Yeah.
To go to meet the good folks at the conventions and talk about Star Trek and probably talk about gaming because there's a lot of crossover. People that love Star Trek also game.
Absolutely.
What I'd like to do also, I know Ed would be okay with this. I think because I haven't asked him. I'd like to send you. I'd like to send you something And I can talk
like
about
things.
You like things? I want to send you a copy of Ed's original map.
Ooh.
And it has a letter with it that says, signed by Ed, this is an original this is a certified copy of my map.
It is just a stack of photocopies.
It is
not. Yeah.
It's just a stack of his photocopies, but it is a copy of his original map he made when he was like 12 years old or 8 years old.
Oh, that's amazing. I would treasure that.
You'll have to put it together.
That's
you have
really
to.
Cool. That's fine.
It'll just be a bunch of pages, but you'll have to put it together if you want.
That's really cool.
Putting it together, it would take up the entire wall over here or more.
That's
so
cool.
It is that big.
I'm a fan of your work, Ed. You know that.
Thank you.
I had him sign a DM screen while I was there last when we saw each other.
Which edition?
Pardon?
Which edition was this DM screen?
Oh, there he is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who did?
You did.
Oh, I did. Oh, which edition is the DM screen?
It was one of the. It might be in the thing. It came with the deluxe, the alternate covers of the current editions of the books.
Okay.
So it's that sort of black with red lettering.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I have that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I keep forgetting. I need to have Ed sign my original
I
one.
had it signed the inside of it for me.
Nice.
I have this one right here.
That's what I have.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God.
But that doesn't leave the house.
I was going to say
that's the games that I started with right there.
Right there. Yep. That's what I had in front. Mine's taped together though because I used it since 1978 or whenever it came out. Whenever it was.
So good. It makes me so happy. Well, thanks for indulging my nerdery, guys.
No,
thank you. And thank you for doing this. And I know you have to get back to stuff because we could talk all day, but we can't do that to you.
Yeah. Well, we'll do that over drinks when we see each other next.
There you go. Well, sweet. Well, thank you so much for indulging a couple of fans, or in letting us have on the show.
My pleasure.
We'd love to have you again. We actually do one with other authors and game designers where we create magical items.
Oh, fun!
And
on air.
Speaking of. So the guy that created my table, this will be my last story. The guy that created my table also builds a bigger version of it, a higher version. If you go to the weathereddragon.com, you can see the Stashwick table and you can see his other table, the Harbinger, and they're for purchase. Like you can literally own my table. It's got my signature on it.
Great. Cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. So he was putting one together. Somebody had ordered it for their game room, and it was about an hour away from where I live. And so he flew in from the East Coast, and he put it together for them, and invited me for the inaugural game at the table. Turns out the woman who was at the table, the husband and wife that bought the table, she is a blacksmith, and she offered to build me the sword that my character carried as a boy.
Oh wow!
Which was a sentient sword. So I am going to have she sent me all the process of her like putting it in the bath and like hammering it out and putting the runes on it. So I am going to have the sword that I grew up playing with as a kid, and its name is Whisper.
Oh my God.
And in runes, the name of the sword is Whisper, and it's a sentient sword. And in runes on it, it says, a fool's boast starts with a shout and ends with a whisper.
Nice.
Oh my God. Mic drop.
Oh, wow.
So good.
Thank
we would love to have you back for a magical item creation show. That'd be great.
Let me know. Let me know when.
Yeah, those could be scheduled any time. So it really is about your schedule. So,
perfect.
But thank you guys. But thank you, Todd. We really do appreciate it.
May you always roll with advantage.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Live long and be preposterous.
Preposterous. I love it.
la 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 la.